So I just finished watching The Owl House, and I have some thoughts. From the top, I gotta say, these are grievances that I have with Disney. SIMBIB. Hello everybody, welcome to Simbib, aka Stuff I Make Because I'm Bored. My name is Sin, I will be your host, and today we're going to be talking about The Owl House. I just finished watching the last 3 episodes, and I have feelings. I have so many feelings. Mostly directed at Disney for canceling the show. Of course I was going to talk about that. How could you talk about The Owl House and not talk about that? Disney canceled The Owl House because, looking up this article called Owl House Boss Shares Real Reason Why Disney Canceled the Show, a Disney animated series which received heaps of praise for positive LGBTQ+ representation was unfortunately canceled before it really took off. Its second season hasn't even finished airing, and it was announced that season 3 would wrap up the show across 3 specials rather than 20 episodes. The show follows a girl who falls through a portal into a world of witches and demons while on her way to summer camp. As dangerous as her new environment is, it's probably less scary than summer camp. Talking to Reddit on an AMA, the show's creator, Dana Terrace, praised be her name, explained why she believes the show got the axe. While we have had issues airing in a few countries, and are just straight up banned in a few more, I'm not going to assume bad faith against the people I work with in LA, she said. She states the reason wasn't necessarily because of the budget or the ratings, although she did explain that she wasn't given the option of a 4th season post-pandemic, and the decision was made before the show came to Disney Plus in the US or went on reruns on the Disney Channel. They just want to be done with The Owl House, and this was the perfect chance to do that. Even getting the Consolation Season 3 episodes was very difficult. Hard to say. I wasn't allowed to be part of any conversation until I was just told, oh my god. What the fuck? I wasn't even allowed to present my case, she continued. Terrence went on to say that she felt the differences that made the show unique and slightly older audiences meant it didn't fit that brand. So that's why the show was cut. That's it. Ain't it wild? Really grinds my guts, boils my brains, kicks my shins, all the things. It sucks, but that's what it is. Terrace hopes the show could return if things change in the future or that it inspires studios to take on more risks down the line. Oh my god. It didn't fit the brand? What fucking brand? Seriously. I honestly don't even know how to begin addressing this. It doesn't fit the brand? What's Disney's brand at this point? What about The Owl House does not fit the brand? It's ridiculous. What is even the point of canceling this show? Owl House ratings. It's an ages 8+ show, and I'm looking at this webpage called Common Sense Media. Ooh. And it says, our ratings are based on child development best practices. We display the minimum age for which content is developmentally appropriate. The star ratings reflect the overall quality and learning potential. Okay, so based on 223 reviews of this show, it's a great show for ages 8+. Is that not exactly the kind of stuff that Disney markets to? It's exactly their age range. So what's different about The Owl House than other shows that are less bad for the children and more fitting of the brand? You know, shows where main characters kiss or where main characters fall in love. Shows like their brand new movie, Pixar figured out how to make another thing that usually doesn't have feelings. I can't believe that they canceled it and didn't tell her. They gave her no say in it. It just wasn't Disney's brand. What the fuck are you talking about? It's ridiculous and blatant. The way that The Owl House was created means that there was absolutely no way that they could easily edit out the gay parts. You know what I mean? With Disney's first openly gay character, the first one out of 6. They were all characters that were ambiguously gay or ambiguously LGBTQ, or, my favorite, conveniently removable from the movie. Or, we just change a voice line and she's talking about her boyfriend. That stuff is all perfectly Disney's brand. People kissing other people. That's Disney's brand. I mean, this is Disney's brand. And this is Disney's brand. this as well.
You know what two people do when they're alone, right? Gosh.
Those kinds of movies. Those are much more Disney's brand. And oh look, more kissing. But it's all between a boy and a girl, and so that's fine. But this, Luz and Amity, this healthy relationship of two people genuinely liking each other and genuinely wanting what's best for each other and showing a happy, healthy relationship is not Disney's brand. Gosh, I wonder what's different about Amity and Luz versus like Flame Chick and Water Dude. Spot the difference. We have so far to go still toward equality. Not that Disney is supposed to be our like beacon of hope or whatever, or a shining example of how things should be done. Honestly, fuck Disney. It's upsetting. It's upsetting that we got snubbed just a really great show because Luz and Amity kiss. They are girlfriend and girlfriend. And that shit is so bad. For some reason. It's not Disney's brand. It's so much not Disney's brand that they canned the show and didn't tell the showrunner. That's fucking crazy. That's just rude. It's just so freaking rude. And like, sure, shit like that happens all the time. Just look at the whole HBO Max situation. I guess I'll talk about that at some point. And thankful we got what we got. It's the whole Steven Universe thing all over again. It makes me so freaking sad. It makes me so sad because this show was really good. Okay, like, was it my favorite show? I don't know yet. I think I have to sit on it a little bit longer for me to figure out if it's one of my favorite shows. But I really liked it. I liked the magic system. I liked the characters, of course. I really like the voice actors. I'll be honest, the first time I saw this show, the very first thing that I said was, "Oh my god, it's Chicha," as soon as Ida opened her mouth. And lo and behold, I was right. Am I good at recognizing faces? Oh my gosh, absolutely not. Totally terrible at it. I can't do it at all. If somebody changes their hair, I don't recognize them. I recognized Wendy Malick immediately. I really think she did such a wonderful job. I think Luz did a wonderful job. I think Alex Hirsch as King was hilarious. I really liked his performance as well. It was a little, I don't know, it was okay sometimes, but for the most part, it was really fun. And I really liked Willow as a character. I really liked Gus as a character. He grew on me. It took me a little bit, but he grew on me. And I really liked Willow and Gus's friendship. I liked Luz and their friendship. I love the friendship between Luz and just the rest of the Owl House crew. I like Ida's whole backstory thing. I like Lilith's whole backstory thing. There were a couple things that I guessed kind of as the show was going on. I'm looking over my notes now and kind of the things that I wrote down. Usually when I binge watch a show, I just kind of sit down, let the whole thing wash over me and just do that for, I go into some kind of like haze and then I wake up however many hours, weeks, or months later, in the case of Critical Role, having binge watched the entire show. And then I don't remember anything that happened because I was watching the whole thing so fast. So I decided to kind of log my thoughts episode by episode so that I wouldn't just watch it and remember nothing. This entire rant is so all over the place, but whatever. I really liked the introduction of the magic system. I love how Luz found out about the light spell and how it kind of came about from a merging of her human tech and magic itself, which I think is really cool. I really liked how Ida went from being so, I don't want to teach you magic, I'm just gonna be wild and crazy and I don't want to actually be a teacher thing, to like, these are my children. Don't mess with my children. I'll fuck you up if you mess with my children. I thought that was really sweet. And I really liked King's growth, kind of from like being just a silly little guy to a silly little man. He was just a serious little guy at the end. And I wrote this in my notes specifically. Where is it? I want to read my exact wording. King on All Fours is my favorite in the way that he's animated, honestly. He's just a little guy. Then when he's on all fours, he's just a little guy. And it's so cute. I love it. And I love how much Willow grows. I really like Hunter, too, as a character. I think the first note that I wrote down when he appeared was, oh my god, what a nerd lord. Which he is. He's a nerd lord. He's just... Everybody's going to say this, of course. He's Zuko. He's got a very Zuko vibe. He's got a scar on his face. He's got misguided past about helping some gigantic evil person thingy and doing what he thinks is right and going after the main characters and then gradually becoming good. But I like how they did it. I really like how they handle his character. Be right back. I have to go grab some drinks. Ah, much better. Okay. And I really like the animation for the most part. This may be a little bit elitist of me, honestly. I'm okay with that. The smooth animation styles, while I really liked it, it also kind of, I don't know, it felt like it was a little too slow for the show in comparison with the other animation styles. Yes, there were twice as many frames, but it ended up feeling like the show was kind of lagging, almost. I feel like if they did exactly the same animation and just played it faster, it would feel better. Or if the whole action in general sped up a little bit more, it just felt like the show lagged sometimes, even though the animation was beautiful and fluid. And I think they really nailed it in the places that it was implemented. But it felt to me a little bit like the same issue that I had when I was watching Puss in Boots. I know, super unpopular opinion. Oh my gosh. But you know what? I'm going to say it anyway. I didn't like the application of different frame rates in Puss in Boots. I didn't like it. It's going to be an entire video on itself. I promise. Actually, no. I'm not going to promise that because I have no idea what I am not going to make videos of. That said, I didn't like the application of it. Not because the animation was bad or because it was wrong or whatever, or it was too different from everything else. The reason I didn't like it was because the transition between the two animation styles didn't work for me. I liked the general's animation. I loved the style of the show. I thought it was really fun and cute. Pretty, I wouldn't say unique, but it was very sweet and fun, and it was just a nice, fun show. That could have been a great show if Disney hadn't fucking canceled it. And now we're going to get into my grievances, and again, I have to stress, this is not the crew's fault. This is not Dana's fault. This is Disney. Disney, I have beef with you, okay? I beef with you specifically, Disney, and I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. This is my video getting you, Disney. You better watch out because I'm going to be so famous and powerful. You're going to see this. You're going to be like, oh my God, we totally shouldn't have canceled the Owl House. It was so great. Wow. And then it'll be fine. I'll fix everything with this. I honestly just wanted to get my thoughts out because if I keep this all in my head, I'm going to explode. Okay, so season 3 of The Owl House. My grievances. I loved the 3 specials. I loved it. I thought it was great. But reading that article, she was mentioning a season 4. Season 4. These 3 episodes for season 3 were supposed to be 2 whole seasons. And it makes me sad that that wasn't what we got. Again, this is not directed at Dana. This is not directed at the Owl Crew. Is that what they call themselves? I have no idea. Anyway, this is not directed at them. I think they did such a wonderful job with what they got because they didn't get a lot. Okay? You guys need to understand this. They didn't get much. Let's see. Let's look at the times. Let's see how long the episodes are. So, episode 1 is 46 minutes. Episode 2 is 48 minutes. And episode 3 was 54 minutes. And altogether, that is 150 minutes. 150 minutes, which is approximately 6.8 episodes. Okay? The total length of season 3, which was supposed to be season 3 and season 4, at minimum, was 6.8 episodes long. 6.8. Okay? That's nothing. One season is 20 episodes. They were trying to fit 40 episodes into the span of 7 episodes. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. It's wild, okay? And it shows. It shows in the show. And it makes me so sad. Like, the beginning, when they ended up in the human realm, the whole thing, their whole time spent with humans, what humans do and how humans live, and how Amity and the rest of the crew deal with being around humans. We didn't get to see almost any of that. We didn't get to see Hunter and Gus and Willow growing closer. I mean, we saw snapshots of it, but there was nothing, we didn't see anything deeper than that. I'm going to say this so many times. It made me sad. It made me sad. It made me angry. Not because it was bad, but because, to quote somebody else, it could have been great. It could have been great. But instead, it was good. It was wasted potential. It's just upsetting to think about. Like, Camilla's secret obsession with Star Trek. I mean, Cosmic Frontier. So cute. We could have seen so much more about Camilla trying to hide it, about her being a nerd, about how Luz takes in information. Like, we saw a little bit of it, but we didn't get to see why Camilla hid it, or how she thought this would help Luz, or why she even hid it in the first place. Like, was her dad weird about it? Speaking of Luz's dad, oh my gosh, I didn't even write this down in any of my notes. We didn't get to even see what he looks like. And I will be real with you, we don't need to see him. Like, we also didn't get to see Gus's mom, or if he has a mom, or, I don't know, was he adopted? We don't know. So much of the show was tell, don't show. And of course, that is completely what happens when you have to fit fucking 40 episodes. How many minutes is that? I need to know. When they have to fit 880 minutes into 150. Ridiculous. Anyway, so of course, we didn't get to see Gus and his family interact. We didn't get to see Willow and her dad's. I mean, a little bit. I really liked the one where she was grounded and one of her dads comes back in and is just like, hey, it's okay, and then he sees that she's about to sneak out and he's just like, I'm not going to say anything. I thought that was really sweet. And it shows how much her dads love her and understand her. And that just made me so happy. It was so sweet. And speaking of sweet, Camilla. Oh my gosh, I loved Camilla. What a great character. Honestly, she did such a good job keeping it together, honestly, for how fucked up this whole thing is. Like, your daughter goes missing, and then she isn't missing because a basilisk, who in my notes I've referred to as Amethyst, because she's Amethyst's voice actress. Actually, let me double check that. I was right. She is Amethyst. Okay, cool. Anyway, your daughter falls into some fucking demon realm that you have never heard of, don't know what it is, don't know why it is, and then instead of being like, oh my god, my daughter's missing, you just find your daughter still, because she's been replaced by a doppelganger, which, by the way, that episode was so fun. When they showed her, I was so scared that there was some kind of, like, evil thing going on. But instead it was just Amethyst, which is great, because, you know, if it was an evil doppelganger going after Camilla, I would have to kill them. I love Camilla too much. She's so sweet. I love that when Amity's and Luz are just like, hey, we're dating, and Luz is like, I'm bi. The Camilla, just from that moment on, had a rainbow sticker or heart-shaped rainbow thingy on her person at all times. I thought that was so sweet and so cute. And I didn't even talk about Amity and Luz. So cute, so sweet. I really like their relationship. Amity is the most patient girlfriend of all time. Of all time. Like, Luz is really figuring her shit out still. And it shows. a lot. Like, there's a lot of times where I was like, that's a bad move. Luz did bad here. And instead of them throwing this whole, oh no, it's a misunderstanding, and they're gonna break up now because of the misunderstanding, they just refused to go that route. And I love that. I loved that if there was a misunderstanding, they talked it out, and they both were like, let's sit down, let's think about this, let's talk about our feelings, and let's think about a good, healthy way to deal with this problem. And I just thought that was so sweet and so good of them. What a great message to send to kids. But you know, this isn't Disney's brand. Anyway, I'm normal. Oh, right. I can't friggin', what is the deal with Flapjack? Who is Flapjack? Why can Hunter do this whole teleportation thingy? I totally call it at the beginning that Hunter was some kind of relation, like he was related to Bellos in some way. I thought it was really cool that he's like Caleb's clone thingy, which makes sense. In a way, he is technically Bellos's nephew, not really in the normal sense of the word, a Grimwalker. Whatever that means. I have watched half of season 2 twice and the last 3 episodes twice, but I don't think it ever was clearly laid out what a Grimwalker is. It's just kind of hinted at here and there, which, again, is not the crew's fault. It's fucking Disney's fault for canceling the fucking show. Any hoot. I'm still so mad. I can't believe at no point Hootie said any hoot. That's just, that would have been the first line I made him say. Anyway, what is Flapjack's deal? Because he was abandoned somehow. Something happened to it to make it be with the Bat Queen. And it seemed to recognize something in Hunter. And when Bellos sees Flapjack, he says he called out EVELYN. Why? Who is EVELYN? I'm pissed. I want to know. I want to know who she is. Conceptually, we know who she is. She was some kind of witch that Caleb and Philip met. But why? And how? Obviously, it was through the portal door, and maybe, oh my, I didn't even think about this either. Maybe, oh no, it couldn't have been. That was way too far in the past. But the door was made by someone, and Bellos didn't know that it existed. Or maybe he did know it existed. Well, he made a portal. Did he make the portal door? See, there's so many things I want to know. I want to know more about how Philip became Bellos. How? Because right now, he's such a one-dimensional villain, and that makes me so sad. Again, it makes me sad. I wish I knew more. I wish I knew more about Bellos. I wish I knew how he got to where he is, because we know he's a witch hunter, but why? We're told, oh, he wants the glory. He wants a but how did humans know about witches? Like, obviously, there was, like, the whole Salem witch trials, which, like, yes, okay, but in the human realm, magic isn't really real in the way that magic is real on the Boiling Isles. So what? Witches sometimes came through the portal and were stuck in the human realm, and so they made a living among humans? But what about their presence there drove Philip to be so obsessed with fighting witches? Because at this point, all that we know is he's just like, oh, I want to be powerful, I want to be loved, and blah, 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 it's for the good of humanity. But it doesn't explain how he got there. Did EVELYN do something to Caleb? Was it like what's his nuts? Jerkbag from the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Was it like that thing where Philip fell in love with the witch, but then he found out that she was a witch? Or did Caleb fall in love with the witch as well, and did the witch fall in love with Caleb, and so he stabbed Caleb in the back to get to EVELYN? Did EVELYN give Caleb the talisman? Was EVELYN similar to Ida? I mean, the names are vaguely similar, which is sometimes enough. It just kind of, you have to draw parallel to things, or I don't know, whatever. But how do they relate? How did the portal door end up at Ida's house? Because it sounded like Ida's mom at some point, at the very least, knew of the door and knew of its existence and what it could do. She called it junk or something in one episode. So there was clearly supposed to be, at some point, some kind of parallel between... Oh my god, it makes so much sense for that to be the case. There was supposed to be a parallel between Luz meeting Ida and Philip meeting EVELYN. Like, that makes perfect sense. It's got to be how that was supposed to happen. But we didn't get that. Instead, we got fucking nothing. We got nothing. We don't know who Bellos is. We don't know who Caleb is. We don't know who EVELYN is. We don't know why Hunter has the ability to fucking, like, dash. To lightning dash, quick attack. Go Hunter. Why does he have that? Was it because Caleb had that? And when Luz was part Titan, she also got a power that was similar to that. That makes me think, at some point, EVELYN must have been some kind of wild witch, because Bellos hates wild witches, specifically. He doesn't hate magic. He hates witches, wild witches, specifically, because they're uncontrollable. Maybe there was some kind of thing that EVELYN taught Caleb, and Caleb, like, stopped hating witches, maybe? Or he started growing sympathetic, or he started falling in love with witches, and EVELYN showed Caleb how to talk to the Titan, or even the Titan itself spoke to Caleb, and Philip was jealous of that. I would not be surprised if that was the case. Like, Philip being all like, ooh, I want to be all powerful and I want everybody to love me. And then Caleb's just like, oh, look at me. I got magical powers from a great magical god type being. Philip would be pissed. He would be so pissed. So it makes sense if it would be something like that. But we didn't get to see it. We didn't get to see it, and we will never get to see it. So what is the whole deal with Bellos? How did he get to be Bellos? How did Philip become Bellos? Because right now, all he is just some dillweed that hates magic. That's it. How did he discover that eating talismans gave him that power? And like, when they were in Bellos' head, and they were looking through his memories, there was that creature that was made up of all the talismans. So is his corrupted form talismans? Like, is it talismans that make him look like that? We won't know, will we? But how did he figure that out? Did he learn that through EVELYN? Did EVELYN give Caleb... Oh, I need to finish my thought. Did EVELYN show Caleb how to do the quick dash thing? Because Caleb was human. He wasn't able to do magic. So did she give him the talisman? And did the talisman give him power? Was that Flapjack? Did Bellos attack Flapjack? And is that why it was broken? Because he had a scar on his face, just like Hunter, in the same place. Oh, symbology, I love it. How does that connect? And how did Bellos not recognize it? Did it recognize Bellos? Why didn't it tell Hunter about Bellos? Maybe it did. I mean, it took a while for Hunter to be able to talk to it. There's so many questions. I have so many questions, and I want answers. We're not going to get answers, and I'm sad. I'm sad about it. I'm sad. And angry. Smangry. What can we do, I guess? We can celebrate what we got, because I'm really happy with what we got. It feels like they got to tell the whole story that they wanted, or that they could, anyway. Again, 880 minutes told in the span of 150 minutes. Ridiculous. How could you even do that? They did the best with what they could, and honestly, I think they did a great job. Is there anything else that I want to talk about? This is going to be such a nightmare to edit. How am I even going to streamline my thoughts? Oh, the Collector. I didn't even talk about the Collector at all. I really liked the Collector as a character. He kind of made perfect sense as a creature of what he is, this immortal being. I really like the whole Luce went back and... Oh, I didn't even talk about the glyphs thing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so jumping off from Caleb learning Titan magic, I bet the Titan tried as hard as possible to not give Philip any magic because it sensed some kind of evil in him. Because he specifically said the Titan, it felt like the Titan was hiding magic from him, which makes perfect sense that the Titan then would take Caleb and try to give magic to him because he believes in him or he trusts him or something like that. He sees good in Caleb that he didn't see in Philip, whatever, same person. And so Luce finding the light spell as the first spell that she learns and it being her signature move when it was the last spell that Philip learned, and he only learned it because Luz accidentally taught it to him when she didn't know that Philip was Bellos, is so poetic. And then at the end of the show, when everything was basically saved because Luz knew that light glyph, beautiful, poetic. It was just, it was so good. I really liked that. I thought it was such a beautiful parallel between the two of them. It's so fitting and works so beautifully that Luz found the light glyph first, and that is what enables her to beat Bellos. I just think that's really, really cool. And I love that the way that she learns magic and the respect she has and the love she has for it just like perfectly parallels everything that Bellos misuses and hates magic for. And what is up with Bellos' staff? That can't be a talisman. It's artificial magic, right? Like, it's got to be the same staff. Is it maybe it's even the same staff that Hunter had. I think it must be, right? Some kind of fake magic amplifier. I wonder how that was created. I guess we'll never freaking know. Anyway, I did think in the end when Bellos was like, I need to become one with the Titan because this idiot has been sitting underneath the Titan's heart for 50 years, at least 50 years, and this idiot never thought one time, after all his time of possessing Caleb clones, that he could just fucking inhabit the Titan. It literally was there the whole frickin' time, and he didn't even one time think, maybe I can merge with the Titan. Not even one time. What an idiot. Oh my god. But I mean, thematically, of course, it makes total sense that that's exactly how that would happen. Anyway, I liked the Collector as a character. I liked their arc. I liked how they are just a kid. They don't understand the gravity of their actions. They don't understand how they affect living mortals and how living mortals are alive and not toys, which I really liked that part. And I loved the scene where Luz and the Owl crew are teaching the Collector about their lives and about how they met and how they became who they were. And honestly, any scenes with them interacting together, because it really shows that all three of them understand the Collector in a way that nobody else could or does. I mean, maybe over time they could kind of get it, but none of them would get it the way that Luz gets it, or the way that King understands the abandonment part, the way that Ida understands being super, super powerful and feared because of it, and the way that Luz yearning to be understood. They together embody what the Collector is, but at the beginning of the show, like, the Collector is this being that is all powerful, all capable, omnipotent, I guess, this god being. And King's quick thinking to save everybody, and the Owl House game, and this whole story behind what happened to the Titans and how the Collectors were afraid of their power. It was so good. I really liked it. And then in the end, when the Collector's like, I understand, I can get through to Bellos, and just goes up there and it's just like, it's okay, Bellos, you just want to be understood. It broke my heart because he's trying to apply the things that he's learned, but he hasn't learned that not everybody's reachable in that way. Or at least maybe Bellos at one point would have been, but after he merged with the Titan, there definitely was no saving him. There was no saving him. He's gone, baby. He's unstoppable now. Or unsalvageable now, I guess. Which kind of is an interesting way to end the show, now that I think about it. To not redeem Bellos. I'm kind of down with it. Maybe they would have if they had more time, but I don't know. I do kind of feel like he was corrupted to a point that he wasn't helpable? I don't know. Now I'm questioning how much I like that. But anyway, I really liked that the Collector tried, and that he got hurt because of it, because it was a really good teaching moment you know? And I love that Luz died. Wow. Like, what balls for them to do that. Like, holy shit. I really liked that whole sequence. I liked her saying goodbye. I love how much time they spent on showing her breaking apart into the light spell and then returning to the Isles as part of the magic there, and how much gravitas they gave that, and how King and Ida went berserk over it, and how the Collector couldn't understand it, and how that helped him grow and become more understanding of mortals. And I just, it was so good. It was so good. I really liked it. I wish they could have given it more time. I wish they could have spent a whole episode just with Luz meeting King's dad and have them talk about it more. Because what I really liked was the whole conversation that Luz had with King's dad about the origin of wanting to help people. Bellos just wants to do what's good for all of humanity, and we just want to do what's best for the Boiling Isles. Isn't that the same? We just want to do what we think is best. Doesn't that come from the same place? And then having King's dad be like, no, was really good. I liked that. I liked that they explicitly acknowledged that the reason that Bellos wants to do what he wants to do is not a good reason. It doesn't come from a place of love. It comes from a place of greed and pride and arrogance. And where Luz wants to help people, it comes from a place of love and understanding. I liked that. And I liked that King's dad gave the last bit of his life to Luz so that she could come back and help everybody. How did King's dad end up there? Did he hide? Did he, with his power to trap the Collector, did he, like, I don't know, trap himself with it? Was it like a Kung Fu Panda 3 thing where it's like, I'm sending you to the Shadow Realm and I'm taking you down with me? Like, was it that kind of thing? We will never know. I wish we could have seen more of Ida and King dealing with Luz being gone. I liked that Camilla, it felt like Camilla knew when she was crying, which makes me really sad. I don't know if she actually knew or if she just was scared, but like, I'm sensing that it was some kind of like magical connection, mom power, which makes sense to me. And honestly, just visually, it worked really nicely. So I have no notes on that. Loved it. And then when she came back with Titan powers, it just doubled down my idea that that Caleb had some kind of connection to the Titans in some way, like Titan blood or Titan blessed magic or what have you, or the Titans just really liked Caleb for whatever reason. Oh my, dude, hang on, I'm not done yet. I didn't even talk about Rain and Ida. What the heck? Rain is literally my favorite character. They're just like me. They're just like, ha, I saw your concept of gender and I said, no thanks. I'm cool with that. And I love the fact that there's music-based magic. They really didn't touch on that enough in the first season, I think. And oh my god, I didn't even talk about the freaking Coven Heads. What is my problem? Oh, I loved the Coven Heads. It was such an anime feel of all these cool character designs kind of embodying their styles of magic. I thought that was so cool. I really liked Rain's whole backstory with Ida, and I wish we could have known more about them. I love Rain's whole thing trying to protect Ida and how much that mirrored how much Ida was trying to protect Luz and King, and just, it was so good. And I really liked the Coven Heads, and I liked what's his name? Darius? I don't remember. Abomination guy. I liked the way the Abomination guy stood up for Hunter after Hunter stood up to him with the whole flyer derby situation thing. And that whole flyer derby situation thing was so cute. It showed Willow's growth as a person. It showed how Hunter had the capability of growing as a person. And his relationship with Willow is so cute. I wish we could have gotten to see more of the Coven Heads. Like, it was cool to see how Tara knew Rain and Ida from when they were kids, like from when they met the first time. And I loved the whole callback to Rain can chemically alter things by like using magic to like whistle at drinks and then they're different. And it shows that the whole time knew that Tara was poisoning him or doing something funky to his memory, or at the very least was, trying to do something funky with his memory. And it was so good. I really liked that. And I wish we could have seen more. The freaking coven head with the moon head? What were they the head of? And also, isn't there like a tiny cat coven? Was that like an actual coven? Or was that like a group? Because what is tiny cat magic? I thought that was really fun. Anyway, yeah, I can't believe I didn't talk about Rain. I love Rain. Rain is my favorite. They're great. I wish we could have seen more of the coven heads. I thought that was really fun. It really was just like, it felt like it was setting up some kind of, was it Bleach? What is the show where people are like trying to beat all the other heads of things so they can become, oh, whatever. There's like 1,000 animes that applies to, I'm sure. Anyway, it felt very anime, and I'm sad we didn't get to see more of it, but I really liked it. And I liked that Darius and the wolf thingy were down to help Rain, and that it ended up that they were all in cahoots together, because it worked. It worked really well. Oh, and I loved the scene where the fucking coven heads were like faux branding the students at Hexside, but it was actually really branding, and Gus totally saw through it, and he was just like, don't do it, don't listen to him, they're fake. And it's just like, oh, Gus is actually super powerful, look at his cool super giant illusion spell. I thought that was awesome. I wish we could have seen more about about Gus and Willow being mega powerful witches. Like, how they are the only witches that I've seen whose eyes glow like that when they use their brand of magic. Maybe Amity at some point would also get that with her abomination magic. Maybe it's some kind of like inherent power to their specific chosen school of magic because they're like super in tune with it or something. Or maybe the Titan sees that they're good and so the Titan grants them extra powers with regards to that. Who knows, honestly? I really like their relationship, and I like how much Willow grew and how much, well, Gus didn't grow that much. I guess he grew a little bit. Hunter and Willow's relationship was so cute. I really liked how he saw so much of himself in her and how he connected with her over that. And the whole, the pinky holding thing at the end, that was so cute. I loved it so much. Oh my god, I thought it just was so sweet. And I loved that Hunter is doing talisman carvings now with Ida's dad. I just thought that was so cute. He definitely said he was going to do that, but I'm glad that he actually is doing that. There's so much more I want to say, but if I keep talking, I'm just going to end up going episode by episode, and this is long enough as it is. So, all of this to say, I really like the Owl House. I'm really proud of Dana and the crew, and the show that they made, and the stuff that they did with it, and it was great. I really loved it. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Bye. Oh no, the gays are here. We cannot keep airing this.